Well, Jackie, it's 4:10 a.m. and I have no idea actually where this conversation is going to go because obviously it's a one-sided conversation. I'm sitting here right now, you're sleeping. I'm sitting here right now because I can't sleep. Now, why can't I sleep? Because you're driving me crazy. All right, now let me clarify that. Listen, you want to be an adult. Tonight, when we had our conversation, because your car didn't work, I wish you could have heard yourself, because hopefully you would have been ashamed at the way you sounded. For one thing, you treated me like I was a piece of shit. Why didn't you answer the phone? I called you 4, 5 times. You didn't answer the phone. Where were you? I'm having a problem here. Hey, I laid the phone down to go to the bathroom. Grandma asks me all the time, Bob, why do you carry that phone around with you all the time, everywhere, whatever? I said, because maybe somebody will call that needs help. And she knows what that means. It's something that's just happened decades ago, more than a decade ago, because I want to be there for you when you need someone. But the bullshit that you started tonight, and I wish you could have heard yourself because I would hope you would have been ashamed, is the way you responded and reacted to the problem you were having and the way you were treating me over that problem. All right? Now, I don't know what the answer is with the card, but we resolved it. I resolved it. But you know what? Excuse my language every now and then because I really am agitated. You frickin' want to be an adult, and yet you can't seem to pick up the ball when the chips are down. All right? Now, okay, I'm Jack Wislow. I'm an adult. I can take care of myself. Bullshit. You can't. And that's not a bad thing yet. That's part of life. But look at what keeps you going. Everybody is supporting you. You don't work. You don't go out and get a job. You don't take care of yourself. I mean, you do what you need on a daily basis to get by and make yourself happy. Okay, now let's leave that part at that. All right? Here's the problem. You are in college. Now, honestly, I don't know if you even wanted to be in college. You are one of the few things in my life I have never completely figured out. Lord knows I've tried. And Lord knows I've wanted to be there for you. I might be the biggest problem for you in terms of growing up. I don't know. But I do know this. You have got to stop feeling sorry for yourself. You are, in so many ways, crawling back into the fetal position and feeling woe is Jack. Look, obviously you're not happy there. Okay, everybody goes through that. I know you don't want to hear that. But everybody doesn't go through that. But more than half of the kids go through that. And they're off somewhere in their own room or doing what they do or just covering it up and you don't see it because all you can see is you. You're the one who sees what's happening to yourself in terms of, whoa, I'm in a new place. My friends are gone. Ba 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 bee. I don't have this. I don't have that. Wah wah wah. All right. Now I'm not trying to belittle you. I'm just trying to represent how it sometimes sounds when you start complaining, or when you just start crawling into a box. I just stopped and took a break there. I don't know if it shows up in the video, but at this point, I just felt I had to organize my thoughts because I was meandering too much. I was laying in bed all evening trying to figure out what the frick to say to you and how to let you know how it all looks and how it all feels. You're surrounded by people who are trying to support you. No matter how you perceive it, everybody is in their own way. Your father and I have really dug down deep to support you, and we have always taken great pride of how you grow up, how you emerge as a personality that is a good person. But you're starting to camouflage that. That's just a little side note. We all know you're a good person. But what has happened is your ego has emerged in such a way so that you don't even let people see who you are anymore. Okay? Now, what does all that mean? Let me demonstrate that by explaining to you what I see from my vantage point. And I can speak for Grandmom too, because we talk about this from time to time, more often than we certainly want to. What have we done? I think I have enabled you way too much. Maybe I've been doing more harm than good. But ever since your episode over at Sheridan Tech and your movement over to Western High School, and I don't know to this day whether that in your mind is positive or whether it's water under the bridge, you have been harder and harder to motivate and guide your way to adulthood. That's the only way I can say it. I've always thought a big part of my job was to protect you from the bullshit that goes on from time to time in your own personal life there, and give you a door to go through to get to better places, to get away from the trap that Jack is in at times. At times, you have a good life, a nice home, and all that other stuff, and get you to move forward and be what you want to be as an adult. Boy, I'm really starting to meander now, but this is how you have me confused. Okay, first of all, I have probably spent now 8 minutes of your life, maybe a little bit more, babbling about confusion about how I feel. Let's get down to the bottom line. Jack, I have an investment in you in more ways than one. I invested 18 years of my life in you. You have become a single, solitary motive in my life each day to help you, to contribute, and to make your life a better, more comfortable, and pleasurable place to be, so to speak. I've also stepped out, and in the last 3 years since I put you on that credit card slash debit card thing to keep you motivated. It's no underestimate to say that I have invested over $25,000 in you just in the 2+ years since those days, because I wanted to help you be independent and grow up. I wanted you to see the value of working, appreciating the fact that you work to get something, to achieve something, and then move forward and build on your character, to build on Jack, to make Jack a stronger, better, smarter person. Okay? I mean, that's been my objective, and that's been my investment. It's not about money, but at some point, I gotta be saying to myself, whoa, this guy is blowing you off. Because that's the way it looks sometimes. Right now, the picture that you present is me being some kind of fucking sucker. And you just going along with it because A, I'm your ticket to a lot of things. I don't know. But that's the way you leave me feeling, okay? This is what you reflect as a person. I'm not trying to make you sound like a bad person, but you are an ungrateful person. Okay, now that said, Jack, this investment between your dad, myself, and everybody around you that we've made in you requires one thing of you. You gotta frickin' stand up. If you don't want to be in college, fine. You finish this friggin' year, and you finish it to the best of your ability. That's what you owe everyone around you back. In the final nutshell, that's really what you owe us all. I know as far as I'm concerned, that's the way I feel. You owe me. You friggin' owe me. I have done without so many things, day to day, to allow you to have the things and the opportunities that you have. Okay. Listening to that tone of voice that you have every day when you pick up the phone. Hello. Yeah. Yeah, my parents were here. Yeah, it was okay. Did you have fun, Jack? It was all right. It's okay. I'm not going to belabor that. This is who you have become. I don't know if you see it, because it's like the person who walks out of their bedroom and their hair is all standing up and they look all frenzied. You don't see it. You just wander into the bathroom and you proceed with your day. But this is the way we, in your world, see it. You are ungrateful in your appearance, and you show no effort, no real effort to dig down and try to achieve the things we're helping you achieve. I made some big mistakes with you in high school. Number one, by placing so much emphasis on paying you for your time to study. You should have been required to meet a certain amount of that studying on your own. I'm just trying to help you out and keep you motivated and show you the world's reward system. But tonight was a good example because during the last 2 years of high school, I stepped in way too much to push you and pull you through some of the things you have to do. Now, this is not about your ability to do them. You can meet all of the expectations of the programs you were in high school and the programs you are in college. You are capable. I know this after almost 19 years as an educator, being with you, I know this. Now, does that mean it's going to be easy? No, no, it's not always easy. You know, we're not gifted. None of us are. Yeah, father a little bit, but they make up for that by doing stupid things. But the point is, you're not putting it out. You think you are, because you're doing, back in high school especially, so much more than many of the people around you. But that's comparing yourself to something lesser than what you can be and what you are. Now, I'm just going to come to the point here at St. Augustine. We've all bent over backwards to make your spot here as comfortable as possible. You have a couple of courses. You have a course in hospitality. Now, what is the requirement of that course? The requirement of that course is to stay in touch with what the professor puts out on a daily on a daily basis, and just keeping track of what you're doing. I don't know if you're doing that or not, but it doesn't appear so. Okay, because you're average in hospitality, which is it's a course that you should be. It's a free ride course with a little effort, and you're not taking advantage of that ride at all. It's not extremely challenging, it's not extremely difficult, but it does require you to step up and be innovative and read and take part and be in discussions or whatever. Okay? Then you have your seminar course. You seem to be doing fine in there. It's the only thing is, I shouldn't have to keep kicking you in the ass to get you to do the things that you do in seminar and in English. But I'm going to give you credit here. You are managing so far very well with what you've done in there and accomplished. Of course, that could come home to roost in seminar because you never, ever read the book. And you rationalize to yourself that nobody's doing it, just like a high school bullshit that goes on. I'm not going to read that book, and I'm going to get by, and I'm probably going to wind up doing the stupidest thing by helping you get by, as I have done with the material for this book so far to date, sending you notes, giving you videos, whatever. Half the time I don't even know if you watch them. I put out for the audio book. I get a bill each month for audio.com because that audio book is on audio.com. Listen, that's not independent. That's not a mature adult behavior. All right? Now we go over into music. Now, music is another given. That's an easy grade. That helps you keep your average up, and it broadens your friggin' personality a little bit. I mean, that's what college is about, forcing you to expand a little bit, to make your world a little bit larger, and you don't seem to want to do that. That's not the sign of a person who wants to grow up. Maybe you don't want to really grow up, you just want to talk about it. I don't know. I do know this. Music should be something that you're just cruising through, okay? And you're not doing the reading. And what we had to do tonight was close to inexcusable. It was inexcusable. The fact that I had to pull your way through this paper because we tried to do it in 2 hours. A paper that an assignment that you've had for over a week, and you could have been nibbling on and working on. You gave it no thought whatsoever. You didn't think about a piece that was due. I'm not even sure you knew the assignment was due, because even though we talked about it, you acted surprised tonight when I said, hey, it's got to be due at 10 o'clock. Now here's the difference. The difference is that you say, okay, and you're willing to sit down and go through the numbers to get it done. But that's not what life is all about. That's not what this is all about. Being an adult, and certainly college is an excellent pathway to get there, is about growing and expanding your world. It's not about Diego and whoever. Off the top of my head, I can't think of the names of all your friends because you don't share that much. Back at home doing what they do. It's not about Ravi, who may or may not be gifted from the words that I've heard from you, and he's cruising through some kind of program over at Tallahassee. It's not about any of that shit. It's about you and getting through your life and building your own direction to where you're going, okay? And what was going on in music tonight was a struggle for you because you had let it go so long. And now I had to pull you through it and get you to think. That's not right. And that's not your ability level. I have seen the stuff you write on your own. And when you do take issue with it and get started, look at the two things that you did. They were only 4-sentence paragraphs, but you got maximum credit for both those mini assignments in class, spontaneous writing, whatever it was. And that's the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be about you taking charge and stepping up. Sure, when you write something or put something together, there's nothing wrong with my editing it and helping you get through it, like we did with the last paper that you submitted. Okay? But listen, you're not growing. You're sitting there, you're almost back in the fetal position in so many ways. Now, the difference is everybody is trying to make you feel better. And that's bullshit. That's not what we should be doing. What we should be doing is certainly our role in supporting you, and yeah, to a point saying, oh, Jack's, he's in a new place, he's got to do this himself, he's got to do that himself. But every person on the planet has got to find the map to take them where they're going, and they have to build it along the way. Okay? You're in college, you're in a dorm. You need to develop that life from this point on here. You are now independent in so many ways, and in other ways, no. I say no because everybody has to basically do the life-sustaining things for you that you have not had to do. Okay? Your job in developing this pathway to being an adult right now is to be in college, and so be it. If you decide this is not your place for you to be, put your year in and do the fucking thing right. Do it right. Step up and just make the effort to get the job done to the best of your ability. Now, that's not happening, okay? It's just not happening. You are not playing the game. You are not following the things that you have to do in college by staying alert about your emails. You're not participating in everything. You can have all kinds of excuses for why you're not doing that. This is like Sheridan Tech, blah, blah, blah. Bottom line is, you're not making the best of anything. Okay? At least not to the naked eye. And we don't know because you don't share anything. So we don't know if you're making the best of it, but what we see is not the best of it. What I see in particular, because I'm there looking, you're not making the best of it. You're failing 2 courses. That's not making the best of it. Now, at this point, that's easily recoverable from, but you have to make an effort. Tonight I posted you a text. I know you get too many texts, but that's because you don't connect. You don't communicate. I sent you a text saying, hey, 30 bucks, go to that lecture, that lab. You have to go to the frickin' lab anyway. Go to the lab and get some help tomorrow for this test. Because how much time do we have left? We ate half of it up tonight with the music, and then I don't think you ever did the 21 minutes of video. I don't know where you got it in, unless you just did it before you fell asleep. Okay? That's not honest, by the way. All right? That's just deceit by avoidance. If you don't say anything, it's not a lie, so to speak. Okay. It comes down to this, Jack. You're sitting in Flagler College. Thousands upon thousands of dollars and sacrifices are being made to get you through year one of this experience. If you don't want to go to college, then get off your ass at the end of the year, because this commitment is made by everyone. Finish your commitment and do what you should be doing to show that you are a friggin' adult, and get the job done. Then at the end of the year, if you decide, hey, it's not for me, go out and get a goddamn job. I'll sell you the car. You can get a job. You can work. You can start hanging out with your buddies, or if that's what you perceive that you want your life to be, fine. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that if that's what you really want. Is it a little disappointing that you don't want more? Yeah, sure. But you can't go through life. Life is not going through each day carrying a rock and putting it on a pile. Carrying a rock, putting it on a pile. That's the way you approach your education, and then in so many ways that seems to be the way you approach the responsibilities in your life. Pick up the rock, carry it to the pile, put it on the pile. All right? You're better than that. You're much better than that. But you have to dig down and build those efforts. The passion is missing to make your own life. You want it to friggin' happen is the way it looks. You want life to happen, and you want it to turn out fine. Just like the friggin' card tonight. You're all pissed off that life stuck it to you for 15 minutes because your card didn't work. And what happened? I had to call Wells Fargo. I had to give them your card number and be Jack Wislow, because they won't talk to anybody but Jack Wislow, and get the thing resolved. It was a 5-minute problem at the most, okay? You made it into something much more. This is not the way you're going to get through life. You're going to be friggin' miserable if you don't approach this better than you are approaching it. You don't pick up the rock and take it and put it on the pile, all right? Take the rock and build something, all right? Take each rock in your life and build something. And my more metaphors. Jack, you're in a roadblock. You're in a mind freeze. You're having an extended, huge mind fart. You don't appreciate me. You don't appreciate your grandmother, although she's not victimized by it as much. You don't appreciate what your father's doing or trying to do, to make things happen there. You're just being generally ungrateful, and you're not showing any effort to do your part. Not really. Sure, it seems like it to you because you're sitting there and you manufacture all these daily problems that you have, like not being with my crew and having to go to classes and do this and do that, and the food in the dining hall sucks, and actually would be a lot better if you'd go when the dining hours have the bigger spreads out. But you create all those roadblocks, you create all those problems, not all of them, but many of them, because of your own stubbornness and your own inability to really adapt to what life is going to lay out for you each day from now on. Now, does all that mean that life is just a bullshit? No, of course not. It's great, actually. I use myself as an example. I mean, there have been so many rewarding things in my life, and most of them have been built around family, but many of them have been paths that I've created by building my own future. I never thought I was going to be an educator. I never thought that I was going to end up doing all the things that I did in my own life. I sometimes look back and I'm kind of astonished at some of the things I accomplished because you would never really exposed to things that I did on my job, but it was intense at times, okay? But you accept the challenge and you build a passion and you build a motivation. I don't know where you can go in life without that. It doesn't have to be anything but a passion for where you want to go to and be, okay? I mean, I'm just going to make something up now. You're taking hospitality management. I don't know if you would enjoy being a person who works their way up the hospitality ladder by taking jobs in tourist related areas, a couple of years in Colorado, a couple of years in California, a couple of years in Hawaii. I'm talking, picking out glamorous places. I don't know if that's something that would ever interest you. I don't know if you would ever be interested in working in business. Okay? Um, your father has plenty of connections that he could help you get involved in. I don't know if that has any interest for you. I doubt if any of these things do right now because you're still stuck in being an adult but not wanting to take on the adult mindset yet. That's what college is for. The college is there to give you this time to emotionally and mentally and academically grow so that you can find a role eventually at the end of this 4 years to see who you are. You're looking for who you are. Don't expect to know, but damn it, at least keep looking and pushing and working toward it. Because otherwise, your whole time is a complete waste of time. It's like sitting watching frickin' YouTube videos while other people are spending a couple more minutes on the math or on this seminar or doing this assignment. Those are the people that are moving past you, Jack. And you don't, that's going to happen in life. People are going to move past you. But you don't want them all to move past you. You got to find your way in that parade. Where do you fit into growing up and becoming a responsible, happy, well-adjusted adult that has goals and directions? Not now. Just work toward that. You still can be a college kid. In your case, you're not happy at the college. Then if that's the case, if you think that's the solution to your problem, which I don't agree, be successful here, take your credentials, and move on to a place that you want to be. You need that much time to set it up anyway. You need that much time to build for your second year of college anyway. Do it, damn it. Be proactive. Don't let life bitch slap you every day because you don't do anything. Come on, Jack. You're better than that. Take charge. Just set your own roadmap and follow it as best you can. Now for a commercial break. Okay, I think I've said my piece. I've meandered all over the place. I'm speaking emotionally. I went through what you need to be told 1,000 times laying in bed, and it was just all scrambled and not coming together. And it probably didn't come together now. But I'm telling you and speaking to you from my heart, from everything that you and I have ever been to each other for almost 19 years now. And so much of my last 19 years have been built around you, not not to make you feel obligated, but for me to let you know how rewarding being with you has been for me. You have given me an objective that I didn't have because I retired. Okay, and I didn't want to spend all my time traveling because I don't have the money, especially now. But my point is, you need to take charge. Okay? You got a parking ticket, by the way. We need to talk about that. I'm going to tell you there's no excuse for that, but I've gotten them, and your father has gotten them. And that's not to excuse them, because I can't afford them. But they're reality, and they have to be paid. Colleges really have you by the short hairs on that. I want to take this last trip to Europe and be able to enjoy it. Now, does that mean I want to necessarily cut you loose or whatever? No, I mean, if you need me and you need something edited, you can email me that, and I'd be more than happy to go over it and, or give you some ideas or whatever. There's a 6-hour time difference, so I don't know how much help I can be. But I want to be able to at least spend my 2 weeks away and feel that you've got a grip on all this. I know that sounds a little dramatic. That you're gonna go ahead and do your best. That's all. Just go ahead and do your best and stay on top of this stuff that I've been forced to remind you about on a daily basis, because otherwise they'd fall through the cracks. You've got to be on top of your own life. You've got to check your email and your Canvas every day. Every day. No frickin' exceptions. That's where your life is. That's where it's the map out there that you've got to follow. Otherwise, it's too late, but you should have gotten out and just gotten a job. And I'm not going to get into that because that just sounds manipulative. You would do me a huge favor by manning up and showing me that you can do much of this on your own. There's nothing wrong with needing help, and that's what I'll always be here for. But you need to take charge. It's not about my helping you. It's about you taking charge, and you calling me like you did back in your sophomore year, beginning of your sophomore year of high school, and saying, "Grandpa, I got this kind of test on Monday and that kind of test on Tuesday. I guess we better get together and get some of this done." Those are actual conversations that we had before you hit your black hole. All right? And that's another conversation for another time. But Jack, please, this has gone over a half an hour now, and I've poured everything into it. Everything is into it. If you can't give me the decency to watch it, that tells the story. That's it in a nutshell. If you can't give me the decency to watch it and try to take in what I'm trying to say to you and appreciate it for what it is, sincere, honest guidance on how to get on the road to growing up and being a responsible adult, then maybe that road is over for us. I don't know. You are in charge of that. But at some point, I'll figure it out myself, too. I don't even know what that means. I love you, Jack. I will continue to love you, and no matter what, you're flawed, you screw up, whatever, I will always love you, and I will always be there for you. But I need you to grow up. I would need you to find a little bit of the Jack I've always known and has always been appreciative and loving, affectionate, and caring, because you have always been that way until you found your way through teens, late teens, to try to stifle that like it's some kind of weakness, but it's not. You need people in your life, and you need to embrace those people and appreciate them. If I can teach you anything in all this time we've spent together, that will be it. That will be it. And I will not feel that I have failed in helping you find the way. All right. I could go on, but I won't. I really love you.